Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me closely. Happiness doesn't come wrapped up in some shiny package handed to you on a silver platter. It's built. It's earned. And the truth, it's not always a soft, comfortable process. There are hard lessons, harsh truths you've got to embrace if you're serious about living a fulfilling life. No one owes you anything. This is one of the hardest truths to accept, but it's also one of the most liberating. Too often, people walk through life with the expectation that someone somewhere will step in to give them what they want. Maybe it's a helping hand, a lucky break, or even sympathy when things go wrong. But the reality is the world doesn't work like that. No one is obligated to make your dreams come true, to understand your struggles, or to fix your problems. It's a sobering thought, but it's also the starting point for reclaiming your power. When you embrace the idea that no one owes you anything, you stop waiting. You stop waiting for permission, for approval, for recognition, or for someone to make things easier for you. That waiting only holds you back, keeps you stagnant, and convinces you that you can't move forward without someone else's help. But the truth is, you can. You can take ownership of your life, your choices, and your circumstances. No one is going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter, but you have the ability to work for them and make them happen. This doesn't mean you can't ask for help or rely on others when necessary. What it does mean is that you must approach life with a sense of responsibility. Instead of blaming your boss, your parents, your partner, or society for where you are, look in the mirror. Acknowledge the role you play in your life's outcomes. Yes, life can be unfair. You'll face obstacles, setbacks, and situations that seem completely out of your control. But dwelling on what's unfair or waiting for someone to fix it for you only wastes your time and energy. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything will be easy. It means understanding that the effort you put in will often go unnoticed, at least at first. It means accepting that progress is slow, that setbacks are inevitable, and that success requires patience, persistence, and grit. But here's the beauty of it: when you take responsibility, you also take control. You realize that your happiness, your success, and your growth are not in anyone else's hands but yours. It's easy to fall into the trap of entitlement, thinking that because you've worked hard or struggled, you deserve a reward. But life doesn't hand out rewards just because you want them. It gives you opportunities to learn, to grow, and to build the life you want. But you have to seize those opportunities. You have to show up for yourself every single day without expecting applause or acknowledgement. This is not about being harsh with yourself, it's about being real. When you stop expecting others to owe you anything, you free yourself from disappointment. You stop wasting time on resentment and start investing that time in building your life. Taking responsibility is the first step toward freedom. It's the foundation for everything you'll achieve. Time is the most precious resource you have, more valuable than money, possessions, or even talent. Unlike money, you can't earn more of it. Unlike possessions, you can't replace it. Once it's gone forever. And yet so many people treat time as if it's infinite, wasting it on things that don't matter, postponing their goals, and waiting for the right moment to start living. The truth is, time doesn't wait for anyone. And if you don't learn to value it, you'll look back one day and wonder where it all went. Every second that passes is an opportunity to grow, to create, to work towards something meaningful. But most people squander their time on distractions and excuses. They tell themselves they'll get started tomorrow, next week, or next year. They wait until they feel ready, until the stars align, or until circumstances are perfect. But here's the harsh reality: there is no perfect moment. There's only now. The longer you wait, the more time you lose, and the less you'll have to pursue the life you truly want. Think about it. How often do you catch yourself saying, "I'll start when I have more time"? The irony is that time will never just show up. It's not something you find, it's something you find, it's something you make. Every day you have a choice about how to spend your time. Are you using it to move closer to your dreams, or are you letting it slip away on things that don't matter? Scrolling mindlessly through social media, binge watching TV shows, or procrastinating on tasks you know are important. These habits steal your time, and in the process, they steal your future. It's not just about productivity, it's about priorities. If you value something, whether it's your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal growth, you need to make time for it. That means being intentional with how you spend your days. It means setting boundaries, learning to say no, and cutting out the distractions that don't serve your purpose. Time is a reflection of what matters to you. If you say something is important but never make time for it, you have to question whether it really is. The fear of wasting time can sometimes paralyze people into doing nothing. They worry about making the wrong choice, so they make no choice at all. But doing nothing is the biggest waste of all. Even if you stumble, even if you fail, at least you're moving forward. At least you're learning, growing, and making progress. Time rewards action, not hesitation. You can't control how much time you have left, but you can control how you use it. Start today. Start now. Stop waiting for someday, because someday is not guaranteed. Whether you use your time to pursue your goals or waste it on things that don't matter, the clock keeps ticking. The question is, when that time runs out, will you look back with regret or with pride? The choice is yours, and it starts with how you use this moment. Comfort zones are seductive. They're familiar, safe, and predictable. They shield you from fear, risk, and failure. But the truth is, comfort zones are also cages. They keep you stuck, holding you back from growth, progress, and the life you're capable of living. The life you dream about, the success, the fulfillment, the happiness isn't found inside that safe space. It's out there waiting for you, but you'll never reach it if you're too afraid to step outside the walls you've built around yourself. Staying comfortable often feels like the logical choice. Why take a risk when things are good enough? Why put yourself in situations where you might fail, struggle, or feel uncomfortable? The answer is simple: because growth and transformation only happen when you challenge yourself. Growth is uncomfortable by nature. It requires you to face your fears, confront your weaknesses, and push past the limits you've set for yourself. It demands that you embrace the unknown and trust that the discomfort is temporary and worth it. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem to have achieved so much. Do you think they got there by playing it safe? Absolutely not. Every success story is filled with moments of doubt, fear, and discomfort. It's filled with risks that didn't always pay off, with failures that taught them lessons, and with leaps of faith that seemed terrifying at the time. They didn't stay in their comfort zones, and that's why they achieved what so many only dream about. Your comfort zone might look different from someone else's. It could be the job you've been in for years, even though it no longer challenges or excites you. It could be a relationship that feels predictable but isn't fulfilling. It could be the way you approach your goals, sticking to what feels safe instead of taking the bold steps you know are necessary. The truth is, whatever keeps you comfortable is also keeping you small. It's holding you back from discovering what you're truly capable of. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean you have to throw caution to the wind or take reckless risks. It's about starting small and building your tolerance for discomfort. It's about saying yes to opportunities that scare you, even if you feel unprepared. It's about doing the things that make your heart race, whether that's speaking up in a meeting, trying something new, or pursuing a dream you've been putting off. Each step you take outside of your comfort zone builds confidence and resilience, showing you that you're stronger and more capable than you thought. Yes, it's scary, growth always is, but the discomfort you feel when stepping out of your comfort zone is temporary. The regret of staying stuck, of never trying, lasts a lifetime. If you want something you've never had, you have to be willing to do something you've never done. Growth isn't easy, but it's worth it. Everything you want is waiting for you just outside your comfort zone. Failure is inevitable. No matter how smart, talented, or prepared you are, at some point you will stumble. You will face moments when your plans don't work out, when your efforts don't produce the results you hope for, and when the vision you had for yourself feels far away. It's painful, frustrating, and sometimes discouraging, but here's the truth: failure is not the end. It's a step, an essential part of the process of growth and success. The sooner you embrace that, the sooner you can start turning failure into fuel. Too many people fear failure so much that they avoid taking risks altogether. They stick to what's safe, only pursuing goals they know they can achieve, but by doing that, they rob themselves of the chance to grow. Failure is a teacher, perhaps the best one you'll ever have. It strips away pretense and forces you to confront your weaknesses, gaps in your knowledge, or flaws in your approach. It shows you where you need to improve, where you need to adapt, and where you need to try again with a new perspective. The problem isn't failure itself, it's how you react to it. Some people let failure define them. They see it as proof that they aren't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough, and they give up. But others, those who succeed in the long run, see failure as feedback. They don't take it personally. Instead, they analyze what went wrong, learn from it, and use that knowledge to come back stronger. The difference isn't in the failure, it's in the mindset. Think about it, some of the greatest success stories in history are built on a foundation of failures. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He didn't give up after the first, the 10th, or even the 1,000th attempt. He kept going because he understood that failure was part of the journey. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before her Harry Potter series became a global phenomenon. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, openly admitted, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." Failure isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It means you're trying, pushing your limits, and reaching beyond what's comfortable. It's a sign that you're stepping into unknown territory, and that's where real growth happens. If you're not failing, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. The key is to fail forward. Every failure brings a lesson. Maybe it's a lesson about persistence, about trying a different strategy, or about understanding yourself better. Whatever the lesson is, take it, apply it, and move forward. The only real failure is giving up. As long as you're willing to keep learning and trying, you're still in the game. Failure will always be a part of the journey, but it doesn't have to define you. It's a chapter, not the whole story. What defines you is how you rise after you fall, how you learn from your mistakes, and how you keep moving forward despite the setbacks. That's where true strength and success are born. Not everyone in your life is rooting for you. It's a hard truth to accept, especially when it comes to people you trust, care about, or even look up to. You might assume that everyone in your circle wants to see you succeed, but that's not always the case. Some people, intentionally or not, will undermine your progress, doubt your potential, or quietly celebrate your setbacks. Recognizing this doesn't mean you have to become cynical or suspicious, but it does mean you need to be selective about who you allow into your life and whose opinions you take to heart. The unfortunate reality is that some people feel threatened by your growth. When you start to change, improve, or chase bigger goals, it can make others uncomfortable. Your progress reminds them of what they're not doing or haven't achieved. Instead of being inspired, they might try to pull you back down, whether through criticism, discouragement, or subtle sabotage. It's not always malicious, sometimes it's just a reflection of their own insecurities, but the impact on you can still be damaging if you're not careful. These people might disguise their negativity as advice or concern. They'll say things like, "Are you sure you're ready for that?" Or "What if it doesn't work out?" They'll point out every possible risk or reason why your plans might fail. And if you're not grounded in your own vision and belief, their doubts can start to creep into your mind, making you second-guess yourself. That's why it's crucial to build an inner circle of people who genuinely support and uplift you. True supporters are those who want to see you win, even when your success doesn't directly benefit them. They're the ones who celebrate your achievements without jealousy, who encourage you to take risks, and who challenge you to keep growing. They'll give you honest feedback, but they'll do it from a place of love and respect, not from a desire to tear you down. These are the people who genuinely have your back, and they're the ones you should invest your time and energy in. But here's the thing, you also have to be honest with yourself. Not everyone in your circle will have bad intentions, but not everyone will align with where you're going. As you grow, some relationships might naturally fade, and that's okay. Growth often means outgrowing people who no longer share your vision, values, or priorities. It doesn't mean you don't care about them, it just means you're choosing to prioritize your growth and well-being. At the same time, you have to protect your energy. Spending too much time around people who doubt or discourage you can drain your motivation and confidence. Set boundaries. Distance yourself from negativity, even if it's coming from people you've known for years. Your future depends on your ability to stay focused, positive, and determined, and you can't do that if you're constantly surrounded by doubt. Ultimately, your journey is your own. Not everyone will understand it, and not everyone will cheer for you, but that's okay. Your happiness and success don't depend on their approval. Keep your circle tight, filled with those who genuinely uplift you, and let the rest fall away. That's how you protect your dreams and ensure you stay on the path to becoming the best version of yourself. Life is unpredictable, no matter how much you plan, prepare, or hope for control. Situations will arise that you never saw coming, from personal setbacks to external challenges that throw your world into chaos. Trying to control everything in your life is not only exhausting but impossible. The harsh truth is, control is an illusion. What you can control, however, is how you respond to the things that happen to you. Accepting this truth is one of the most powerful ways to find peace and happiness. Too many people waste their energy worrying about things they have no power over. They stress about the opinions of others, the actions of people they can't change, or outcomes they can't dictate. But this kind of thinking only leads to frustration and anxiety. The more you try to control the uncontrollable, the more helpless you feel when things don't go your way. Instead, the key is to shift your focus. Ask yourself, what's within my power? What can I influence? What steps can I take right now? You can't control the weather, but you can carry an umbrella. You can't control other people's opinions, but you can control how much weight you give them. You can't control every outcome, but you can control your effort, your attitude, and your mindset. These are the things that truly matter because they determine how you navigate through life's challenges. When you focus on what you can control, you take your power back. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the architect of your life. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties or pretending everything is fine. It means accepting reality for what it is and choosing to respond in a way that aligns with your goals and values. Imagine being in a storm. You can't stop the rain, the wind, or the thunder. But you can decide whether to sit there and complain or find shelter and wait for the storm to pass. Life's challenges are like that storm. You can't prevent them from happening, but you can control how you prepare for them, how you endure them, and how you rebuild after they're over. This shift in perspective doesn't just reduce stress, it empowers you. It helps you see opportunities in setbacks, lessons in failures, and strength in adversity. When you focus on what you can control, you stop wasting time and energy on things that don't serve you. You become more resilient, more grounded, and more at peace with the ups and downs of life. Control what you can, your actions, your mindset, your determination. Let go of the rest. You'll find that when you stop trying to control everything, you open yourself up to greater possibilities. You become adaptable, learning to flow with life instead of resisting it. And in that flow, you discover the freedom and happiness that come from knowing you're doing your best with what you've been given, no matter what life throws your way. The harsh truths of life are not here to break you, they're here to wake you up. They're here to remind you of your power, your potential, and your responsibility to yourself. Accepting these truths doesn't make life easier, but it makes you stronger. It frees you from illusions and excuses, and it pushes you to take ownership of your journey. So face these truths with courage. No one owes you anything. Your time is limited. Growth demands discomfort. Failure is your teacher. Not everyone is in your corner, and you can't control everything. But through all of this, you hold the power to choose your attitude, your actions, and how you rise above. The life you want isn't handed to you. It's created by how you respond to life's realities. Embrace these truths, and you'll find the strength to not only endure, but to thrive. Happiness isn't the absence of challenges, it's the resilience, growth, and peace you build in the face of them. The choice is yours, and the time is now.